Could you first of all introduce yourself?
Rob Flynn, Machine Head, vocalist and guitar player.
And sick of hanging out with Slayer?
And sick of hanging out with Slayer? Nah. They're the guys with all the alcohol. I'm not sick of them.
Sick of the alcohol?
Actually, I haven't really been drinking too much on this tour. I just basically on the days off, every night after the show I drink a beer or two, just whatever, chill. But the other night with Slayer, we all got hell of hammered and shit, fucking, because they get 3 bottles of Stoli a night, Stolichnia vodka. So we helped them drink it. It was fun.
Jesus. You stayed in Amsterdam yesterday?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It's killer. It's a beautiful city, man. It's laid out really cool because all the waterways going through the city and stuff. The red light district is a fine thing, and I don't smoke hash or weed, but the rest of those guys smoke hell of it, and so they were quite happy to be in there, find weed and shit. It was cool.
You didn't spend any money in the horse?
No.
What is that?
I don't pay to come. Just like the Bad Brains song, I won't pay to come.
You're into that, Bad Brains?
Mm-hmm. Hella.
What are your influences anyway? Just Bad Brains? Can't imagine that.
Lots of stuff. I mean, tons of music. As far as my personal influences or musical influences. Bad Brains, Cro-Mags. I like Old Discharge. I like Almost Fate, Old Exodus, the first album, Exodus. Let's get that straight and clear. Shit like that. I like new shit too. Fear Factory, fucking Meshuggah. I like a lot of bands. I listen to a lot of hip hop and have listened to a lot of hip hop since I was very young. And so I listen to right now I listen to the Wu-Tang Clan and Method Man and shit like that.
Cool. The music of Machine Head, it would be I would listen to this 8 years ago. It would be New York hardcore style music. Not the same though, but inspired by it. By now, this metal touch to it is so popular. You can see it. Biohazard is so big. Sick of It All is bigger than ever. Mm-hmm. Did you expect that a couple of years ago?
Did I expect what?
To be so big, but sound of music, especially amongst metal people.
Yeah, I mean, hardcore has always been popular, at least with the people that I hung out with. All my friends, we all went to the hardcore shows when they came around, the Bay Area and stuff. We all, even though we went to all the metal shows too, and we didn't dress hardcore or look, have the mohawk and everything, but we all still loved the music. I saw GBH and the Cro-Mags, Discharge, Attitude Adjustment, tons of hardcore bands, old DRI, when DRI was really hardcore, shit like that. I mean, we were all totally into that. So, I mean, there was never a separation. There was it was just kind of an accepted thing.
So it's your roots. Cool. And now you're playing in this large stadium. I guess your band took off playing garages as well.
Yeah, played plenty of Oakland fucking punk rock parties previous to us playing these large stadiums. So it's cool. I mean, I remember the first show that we did was our roadie Scum. He had a house, and basically what he did was pirate all the electricity in there. He wasn't even supposed to be living there. He wasn't paying rent or anything, so he just pirated. He was basically squatting in it, and we just had a party there, and it was we crammed about 150 people into this house, and I mean, this house was falling apart. I mean, there was all the stairs had rotten away, so we had these milk crates that led up to his house because all the stairs had completely rotted out, and just we had people jumping and shit, and the whole floor. I mean, you could literally feel the floor going like this. I mean, it was ready to collapse. We destroyed the house. It was great.
And now you're playing Ahoy for 10,000 people.
Yeah. It's cool. It's a good feeling, It makes us feel really good.
You are accustomed to playing large venues now?
I wouldn't say I'm accustomed to it. We've played some pretty big shows on this tour. This is definitely by far the biggest tour we've ever been on. We just got off tour with Napalm Death and Obituary in the States, and that had us going through, really big clubs to very small clubs, 2,000 capacity clubs to whatever, 400 capacity. But this is definitely by far, I mean, we're playing 10,000, 8,000 seat arenas and shit, and they're packed. So it's cool. I mean, the best way I can describe it is just when you look out there and you just can't even see the back of the room because it goes back so far. I mean, and then just to have all the people going off, it feels good.
Yeah, well, it should be
it's
amazing.
Quite a rush.
Yeah, it should be amazing. This is quite a start you guys made. What do you expect to come?
Well, I don't know. What do I expect to come? Hopefully money at some point. That'd be great, just because we don't have any money.
Not ready?
Not yet. We're still waiting for that money to come so we can pay our rent and whatever. That'd be a fine thing.
That's a strange thing. I mean, it's like most of the time when I speak to bands, they're like, which are like in the most creative period of their existence, they're like so fucking poor, and the money comes in just 2 years later or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm amazed at myself. I'm not really complaining, though, because I'm out on tour with Slayer, and it's helping us sell a lot of records, and it's actually helping us become friends with a band that for a long time was basically our idols. I learned how to play guitar to Slayer, those fucking early riffs, so it's cool to finally be out and be tour with a band that you really respect, I mean, like, I can go through all the songs. I mean, I still go out there and watch them on stage every fucking night, listen to some song and still get, like, chills down my spine, so it feels good, man.
Yeah, that's something. Your drummer used to play Attitude Adjustment?
Yes, he did.
So he decided to quit?
Well, actually, Attitude Adjustment had folded at that point. They weren't a very stable band by any stretch of the word. They got together and broke up like every year. We'll give it a year at least. So I guess he was just looking for, at the time when we had wanted him to be in the band, he was in a band called Grinch, and which was like more like a Jane's Addiction type thing. They were actually really cool. I really liked the band, but and that's one of the main reasons that I wanted to get him in Machine Head, was just because like I had seen him in Attitude and I knew he could do all the hardcore shit. But then if you saw him in Grinch, he got to play all this other like really open type shit and like kind of like
Funky shit.
Not really funky, because it wasn't really like a funk type thing. It was more just like really heavy groove, just like fucking. They had like elements of hardcore, but they also like were more kind of like in a Jane's Addiction kind of like weird area. So to see him like be able to do all that stuff too, like it was cool. I think with Machine Head he kind of gets to combine like both of the areas, like the hardcore shit from AA and then the more fucking weird shit from Grinch, and kind of like combine it all together.
Wow. You mentioned, Body Count. You play with Body Count?
No, we haven't played with Body Count. I don't know where you heard that from.
That's a rumor. I heard this played. They played Utrecht, a small club, and a friend of mine said, "Well, I saw Machine Head there." I was like, "Whoa, no way, no possible."
We might have been in the audience or something, but we haven't played with them. We haven't played with Body Count ever.
In the States right now.
Chris knows Ice-T fairly well.
He knows him personally.
Yeah. But Ice-T actually checked us out at the Foundations thing, but other than that,
maybe I mixed it up or something. I don't suppose so.
Someone's lying to you.
I know. I'll find this bastard.
The hell out of him.
Anyway, right now in the States, Green Day is so massive. I heard that they sold out the club where Kiss played in Detroit, 20,000 people in 2 hours.
Damn, that's fat.
Underground music is so fucking big now. Does it surprise you that?
Green Day, I wouldn't consider Green Day underground music by any stretch of the word.
They used to play like even smaller clubs like this room we're in now.
Oh yeah, totally. But that doesn't mean that they were an underground band. I mean, they were a pop band, a pop punk band. From day one, they were a pop punk band. And pop music is what's at the top. Pop music is always what's at the top. So I never considered what they were doing underground music. I mean, just because they were smaller at one point doesn't mean they were underground. And they signed to Warner Brothers, so you can't really be too underground when you sign into the biggest label in the entire world. I think Green Day's a good band, and I respect them for what they do, but they're not my particular style of music. I think they're all right.
Okay, but then even Offspring is getting big, and they're independent, and Bad Religion is doing great, and you got a lot of metal bands getting huge. Helmet is big. Yeah. I don't know if that's metal, but it's crossover though. I mean, that's not what I expected to be like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it's
neglected all the way, or something by the media.
Well, music's always a reflection of the times. And maybe times are a little bit harsher, a little more crazier 1994. It's going to be 1995 in less than a month. 5 years away from the year 2000. Who knows what the fuck's going to be happening? So I think that kind of urgency is starting to come out in the music. I think that's why such heavy music is starting to be accepted now. That people can understand it and relate to it. That frantic pace, that kind of confused, frustrated sound that's coming out.
Yeah, because it's like you got the Dynamo Festival over here. Were you guys going to play it?
We hope so. I think so. It's like in August or something, right?
Last year, 120,000 people showed up there.
It's fat, man.
It's so big.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking people. There's a lot of good bands too. Prong and Danzig and Life of Agony played, and fucking can't even remember all the bands. I remember reading a review of it though. I'd love to. Sick of It All played too. That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine thing.
Well, isn't it scary playing that large amount of people?
Fuck no, that's going to be killer. Seeing crowd as far as the eye can see, that's going to be amazing, man. I'm going to get those kids to go fucking crazy.
Over here now, this is Machine Head album is getting off now. You guys have been a rumor, like, check out Machine Head, they're getting big, their album is great. But, of course, to you, this album is already old stuff. Because you recorded a long time ago.
Yeah. Not really old stuff. I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, the thing that's going to be weird is, like, we're going to go back to the States now, and we're going to be touring with Slayer, and we're going to have the same set that we had when we did the Napalm Death Obituary tour, because we were not allowed. Like, here we got a 45-minute set, but back in the States we're going to be opening because it's going to be Machine Head, Biohazard, and Slayer. So we're going to get like a half an hour set. So we're going to play the same set that we were playing on the Obituary Napalm tour, but to like hell of more people that didn't even know that we existed, so that's going to be kind of weird. Just going back.
There's still a lot of people who are into Biohazard and Slayer who don't know what Machine Head is about.
Yeah, well, the one thing that has, maybe like not hurt it, but whatever, it's like MTV refuses to play our video because, at least MTV America refuses to play the video because of the line, "Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast." So for whatever reason, there's kids that base a lot of like what they see on MTV. Like, if they don't hear it off MTV, then it's like, oh, well, then it must not be cool or whatever. I mean, we have sold a lot of records in the States, but it's been cool because we've done it with no MTV airplay or only underground video airplay, which is killer. So this tour will definitely help it. They don't play it. We didn't really care. We're like, you're not going to play it? Oh well. They just said the line. They said the line was sending the wrong message. Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast.
I mean, in my opinion, you're even cooler when MTV refuses to play you. So
yeah, that's what we said. We were like, oh yeah, too heavy for MTV. Fine. The thing that pisses me off is just like the way they try and broke it down was like, your line sends the wrong message, but then they'll play the Queen song Bohemian Rhapsody every hour, which has the line, "Mother just killed a man, put a gun to his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead." And you're telling me that sends the right message?
They even play Ghetto Boys videos.
Because what? Because I'm screaming it in an angry voice and he's singing it in a nice voice. That makes the difference. I mean, if you take the two lines, "Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast," and "Mother just killed a man, put a gun to his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead," the Queen song is obviously the harsher lyric, but whatever. I mean, that's just like what got to me the most, like their reasoning behind it. It's like, whatever, you don't like the song, hey, fine, whatever. It's too heavy, whatever. It's too fucking harsh for you, whatever. But don't sit there and try and judge my lyrics, try and judge the line when you're playing something that's far worse, in my opinion.
They misjudge your line. What does it actually mean then?
I'm not going to explain what it actually means because I wrote the lyrics to that song purposely. I purposely wrote the lyrics in that song to make somebody think. I purposely called it Davidian to make somebody think, because I know a lot of people don't know this, but Davidian actually means something really cool. Davidian 3 years ago, before David Koresh took it and made it into something bad, meant someone who takes the pain, poverty, and hate that surrounds them and turns it into something positive. Then 2 years ago, some fucking dickhead in Waco, Texas, turned his cult into the Branch Davidians, and now it's forever going to be revered as this bad thing. And I knew that at the time, and I knew it would cause controversy and bring attention to it. That's purposely why I did it. But see, if you dig a little bit more behind the word and actually find it, it's the same thing with like Hitler, who took an ancient symbol, ancient Indian symbol that was a symbol of power and strength, and turned it into 50 years ago a swastika. But now this ancient symbol, which meant something good up until 50 years ago, is now going to be revered forever as this evil symbol. So that's the reason I did it. And I wrote the lyrics purposely so that when you did read them, you'd make your own story about it. I didn't, like a lot of our songs, I write like, this is what this song is about. You can't take it any other way. But with that song, I wanted to like paint a picture in someone's head. I wanted somebody to be able to read those lyrics and make it like part of themselves.